Hi beautiful souls, this is Sadhana. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be about court cards, and I've wanted to make this video for a long time. I really had no idea how I was going to do this. There's a lot of good videos out there that teach about the court cards, but I really wanted to share with you some of my favorite decks, favorite court cards, and how they've really enhanced my ability as a reader and my understanding of the 16 archetypes that are represented by the court cards in the tarot. Let's just dive right in here with the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Earth. So we have all of the pages, regardless of their suit, have the energy of the earth with them. And here we have double earth for the Page of Pentacles. And this is the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. This is textured tarot, and this is from the Osho Zen. The Osho Zen cards that I'll show you today, this is a trimmed deck. So I've cut the keywords off, and as well as the borders. Excuse me. These three decks really embody the energy of the Page of Pentacles. If we look here, she is just so connected to her environment. It's almost not visible where the environment ends and she begins, and just how there's just so much connection here. Very similarly, this young child is walking off towards the rainbow, just carefree and connected and in a place of trust. And I think for the Page of Pentacles, if there was a key word that that resonates with me, that is one of trust and comfort and home, and a sense of really being with the land, being with the earth. Here in the textured tarot, it almost looks like to me that her energy is helping all of the plants around her to grow. And it's really just such a beautiful depiction. I love how she is so completely engaged in her book. And I know that some decks really kind of emphasize the Page of Swords as back to school or studying or that kind of thing. You'll find both the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords have that kind of energy of new beginnings as far as education goes. It varies deck to deck, and it also varies on the system that you are reading. But yeah, so these are three of my favorite Page of Pentacles. I'm not going to do all 16 because we could be here forever, but let's do the Page of Wands, because I've got some beautiful pages here to show you. So this is from Sasori Bito from Stacia Barrington's deck. And here is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot by Poppy Palin. And I've actually got quite a few Page of Wands I want to show you. This is done really well in many, many decks, and these just happen to be three of my favorites. I love the sassiness of both of these. So both the textured and the Sasori Bito really capture that, I don't know, just is sassy. I love how she's winking in this one. And also there's a sense of risk and adventure. I mean, this is the kid that comes home dirty every day. And if you live somewhere where you let your children run out the front door, and you know, this is the kid that is, I don't know, walking along the edge of the walls, and I don't know, climbing the mountain and riding his bike along the curve and things like that. It's, of course, there is the creative energy. That's why we have the music in this one. And there's also a sense of playfulness. Here's the Osho Zen. So have a look here. This this one really got me to understand the Page of Pentacles. There is also, right, the aspect of creativity, which I mentioned here, and the idea of that kind of spark of magic that's associated with creativity. We really get that feeling in the Osho Zen. And the other Page of Wands that I pulled out was the one from the Queen Alice Tarot. So this is Dame Darcy's Queen Alice. And the reason I want to bring this one to your attention is this is a point in the story where Alice is really, really small, really tiny, and she comes out to the garden and she meets this enormous dog. And I love the way Dame Darcy has drawn this, and I believe this is very similar to the Tenniel drawing in the original Alice book. But Alice is out here, right? Fearless against or running into this dog. So that really captures the Page of Wands, the Page of Fire really, really well. Yeah, it's kind of, it's just fun when you get cards that, oh, I want to talk about this one here. It just makes you, it just helps to understand the aspects of, you know, the court cards. The Page of, here's another Page of Pentacles. So this is Poppy Palin's deck. We've already looked at Page of Pentacles, but I want to go back to here. Usually pages, I can't say usually because there's so many different decks out now. There's just such a wide variety. But generally speaking, pages are younger. And they are depicted as both male and female, traditionally male. More recently, they are female and often called princess, as in Robin Scott's deck here. So this is the new version of the Urban Tarot. I really like that Robin has the element signs on hers. So we've got earth, earth, right? So princess, as I mentioned before, is, you know, a double earth. And having this Princess of Discs, Princess of Pentacles, as an older character really helps me as a reader to understand that we can embody the energy of all 16 of these court cards at different points in our life. And, you know, we've got the children playing outside here. We've got the handprint art on the wall. And, you know, her shirt is painted and dirty, and she looks so happy. I don't think I showed you this one. This is from Poppy Palin's deck. And, you know, this is the kid that is going to, you know, have a after school job walking dogs and being connected to the earth and to the environment. Yeah. Page of Swords. This Page of Swords changed my perception of the Page of Swords forever. So here we have, this is the Queen Alice Tarot, and Alice is slaying the Jabberwocky. If you think about that metaphor, what does it mean to slay the Jabberwocky? The Jabberwocky is a very difficult poem. Difficult words to read aloud, difficult to understand unless you have an annotated Alice and you're reading the book with, you know, definitions for each of the words that Lewis Carroll created. But to slay your Jabberwocky really means to come into your own power as a communicator, right? As an articulate person. And I think this is one of the reasons why sometimes the Page of Swords is associated with education as opposed to the Page of Pentacles, because there's a voice involved with the Page of Swords. And the fact that the Jabberwocky not only is a monster, but also is this really difficult poem. I love that metaphor so much. Here's another example that works really, really well from the Urban Tarot. So here we have the activist as the Princess of Swords. And so again, you know, coming into your voice, there's a bullhorn here, and learning to speak up for yourself. And if the princess represents a younger person, if the page or the princess represents a younger stage of your life, then wow, you know, that's the kind of child that's always asking why? And, ooh, here's another one. Here's another one. This is another good example. Sorry. Good. I have cards all over the table here, and I hope that I can keep you engaged for a little bit longer. So here's the Page of Blades from Poppy Palin's deck. And here we have this nerdy little kid who's out there with his magnifying glass and his science book, and he's just so curious, right? This thirst for knowledge. And you know, we can't get hung up on, oh yeah, Page of Pentacles is school education and Page of Blades is something else. We need to be more fluid and really embrace the qualities of remembering that, you know, air is about thinking, words, intellectual side of things, as opposed to the Page of Pentacles was actually connecting with the dirt. So there's these little subtle nuances, and certain decks just do it really, really well. And it's, I don't know, I really enjoy and get inspired by tarot decks that really, enhance your understanding and expand your understanding of what you thought you already understood. Here is the Knight of Swords, or the Prince of Swords in the Urban. So this is the Urban Tarot. This is the Lumina Tarot by Lauren Aletta. So with the Prince of Swords, we have double air. And really great symbolism here, with the bird. And I love the fact that the Prince of Air is doing, well, not exactly a handstand. This is called, it's not scorpion either. I can't even think what this pose is called, but a variation of a handstand. So in order to do a handstand, we have to be deeply connected to our physical body. His hands are on the earth, but he's kind of like, he's above the earth. He's connected more to the air. And in order to do a handstand, you also have to be, how could I say this? You have to feel light. And you have to feel that sense of floating and being okay with counteracting gravity. And I think Lauren did a really good job with this card. Here we have, so this one connects more with the element as opposed to the hacker, which connects more with the smart side of the Knight of Swords. So you really, in order to be a hacker, you have to be so clever. And yeah, so both of these do that really, really well. But they capture a different aspect, right? So this is more the intellectual side, and this is more the energetic side. At least that's how I see it. And you may see these cards completely differently, and that is okay. I am just sharing with you what I see and how these cards have really... So if you work with decks that have really good court cards, and then you go to another deck where the energy of the court cards is kind of, I don't know, it's just not there. It's kind of flat, or it's very traditional, and there's not a lot of stuff going on. Then it's easier because you've already worked with other decks that really embody the energy of that court card. That is another reason to have several decks in your collection. Knight of Wands. So here we have fire fueled by air. So what happens when fire is fueled by air? It can get out of control, and it can move really, really quickly. And here is an example. So I believe this one is called Intensity in Osho Zen. Here in Puppy Palin's deck, we have all of these symbols. We have this fast-moving vehicle. We have the solar energy represented through the animal. We have a flame here. We have the sun tattoo. We also have the element of air represented by the birds. Lots of symbolism to pick up on, and you can really feel the emotion of the knight in this particular one. And then in Lauren's deck, right, he's super sexy. So I always think of the Knight of Wands as the lady killer. And yeah, I think this deck says that more than anything. The Knight of Wands is not going to be sticking around for a long time. He's going to be moving through very, very quickly. As opposed to the Knight of Pentacles, who is moving a little more slowly. Here are a couple Knights of Pentacles. And sorry if I didn't mention the deck name. You can always in the comments describe the card, and then I'll try to come back with the deck. I don't have that many different decks out here on my desk. Otherwise, I'd have a huge mess to clean up. I've just pulled a few decks that I think really, illustrate what I'm trying to do here. All right, so we have Knight of, I missed a few good ones. Oh, well, that's okay. I am not going to go back. Okay. So Knight of Pentacles. So it's much, much slower, right? The energy is completely different from the Knight of Wands. Oh, sorry, I do have to go back. I didn't show you this one. Don't you love this Page of Wands? It's just, oh, I just love him. There's so many. You think with a deck, so this is Tarot of the Hidden Realm. And a lot of people don't like this deck because everything is so close up and you don't get a lot of the background information. You get a lot of facial expression and a lot of emotion through the faces. But I think it does a really, really good job. So here, the Knight of Pentacles is, again, super connected to the earth. He's kneeling down on the earth and he's made this twig pentacle and he's gazing at it and completely engaged. And here the Knight of Pentacles, you know, is super slow. Plowing a field, right, with a horse this is not a moving vehicle. Another really nice depiction of the Knight of Pentacles. And here he's not moving at all. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, the white, the snow. So if you have the energy of winter too, that really tends to, here we have spring, but with the energy of winter, that really kind of, for me, shows the slower energy of the Knight of Pentacles. So this is the Lumina texture and Tarot of the Hidden Realm. All right, Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, one more. Knight of Pentacles. Osho Zen. Perfect, right? So if we compare this one to the textured tarot, kind of crystal clear, right? How this energy works. And often when this card comes up in a reading, I take this as, kind of like the Four of Swords, you know, it's like, it's definitely an energy of, it's really time to slow down. It's really time to start just being less busy, getting out of that busyness of, of life. Let's move on to the Queens. Queen of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite Queen of Pentacles. I can't say enough about this card. It is such a beautiful depiction of the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. I love that she is, you know, in the garden, she's outside, she's doing pottery outside, she's barefoot, she's a full-bodied woman. In the Tarot of the Hidden Realm, I've shown you some of the cards. I really like that the Queen of Pentacles is like is full-bodied, and that for me really, if you're familiar with Ayurveda, that is, you know, she would have a dominant dosha of Kapha, and that completely makes sense because there's a dominance of the earth element in the Kapha dosha. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. But basically it just means that, the earth element representing full-bodied, and it's got a softer energy to it. It's a really lovely, motherly kind of energy. Not that all mothers have to be full-bodied. And here we have the Queen of Discs. So in the Urban Tarot, Robin has done something similar. So she's got this, she's called this one the Matriarch. And she looks kind of stern, actually. But, you know, I think often of the Queen of Pentacles as the hostess with the mostess. And here she is at the market in Poppy Palin's deck. So she has come from the garden, I think, to the farmer's market. To me, it looks like we're at the farmer's market. And so that works really well, too. And then in the Osho Zen, this is a really beautiful depiction of the Queen of Pentacles. And here's one more. Let's just zoom in. This is the Queen of Pentacles from the Osho Zone. It's Osho Zen. It's called the Suit of Rainbows in this deck. The whole Suit of Rainbows is done really well in this deck, I think. Yeah, Padma did a really good job with this suit. I just feel the connection. So we have, of course, we have water down here. The lotus comes out of the mud. there's just a real sense of universal energy, and this is a very Gaian sense to this card. Yeah, totally captures the energy of the Queen of Earth. Queen of Wands from Poppy Palin's deck. So we have the fiery queen, and here Poppy has depicted her as a conductor, and we've got the fireworks in the background. This is a really well done Queen of Wands. In a traditional Queen of Wands, she's on the throne. I believe she's the only queen that is sitting with her knees open. So there's a sense of sexuality and passion and energy. And I think the Osho Zen really kind of gets that fieriness across, just with the colors and the choice of flowers and the light. And there's this, I don't know, flowiness in her robe. Yeah, so Queen of Wands. And then let's go to next. Okay, so Queen of Blades. I just went and pulled Druidcraft Tarot because I forgot. I wanted to include that in this video, but we'll just see a couple of cards from Druidcraft. So Queen of Blades. We have Queen of Swords, Queen of Blades. What can I say about this? So she is seen as the fearsome queen, right? The one who is definitely going to cut you down with her words, but also she is so accomplished. And I really, in the Druidcraft, I love this Queen of Swords. I get this sense of she is so comfortable in her aloneness. And often the Queen of Swords is associated with women that are alone, and there is complete comfort, complete contentment in being the Queen of Swords. And here she's represented as a scientist or perhaps a doctor, and this is another really clever way to have a look at the Queen of Swords. Okay, and then I want to go to the Queen of Cups. So here is the Caesarea Vito Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups I tend to think of as the intuitive. So she is the mystic. And look at this one. It's so beautiful. We've got the stars in the background. The stars are reflected in the cup that she's holding. And there is so much love. Of course, we associate cups with love, and with that, with the sense of emotion, and with the court cards, especially the Queen and the King, right? This is kind of like the fulfillment and the control and the mastery of the energy. And how perfect is this one from Poppy's deck, right? And this is a really brilliant card. So this woman is living on the street, perhaps, and her dog is with her. We have also, now look in the background here, we have in monochrome color at the back what appears to be I don't know what to say, visions or spirits in the background. So this kind of reinforces the idea that perhaps she is talking to this person here and giving a reading for this person, or comforting this person through a message of, her loved ones who have already crossed over. So here she's actually, I see her as a medium. They're done very, very well. I don't know if we looked at the doubles for all of the court cards. So we did Page of Pentacles, Earth, and Knight of Swords we did, and so Queen of Cups. So this is your double water. All right, any other, here's a really special one too. So this is from the Urban Tarot, and Robin calls her the therapist. So what a perfect occupation for the Queen of Cups, just to be around that much emotion. And look how wise and how she's the queens are the mastery of the suit, and in particular the Queen of Cups really has this in hearts. I was going to say has it in spades, but she has it in hearts. So Really, really nice depictions of the Queen of Cups. Okay, so now let's have a look at a couple of kings. And I've got quite a few king cards here that really speak to me. Let's go with King of Cups first. So here is the Osho Zen. Really beautiful card, right? This is the healer. So we've got the hands-on healing here. And I really like this card. One of my favorite court cards actually in the Osho Zen. And here is Sasrabito, King of Cups. Oh my God, who does not love this King of Cups, right? Wouldn't you just like to have a cup of tea with him? There is this beautiful, just like I said with the Queen of Cups, there's this sense of being, there's no overspill of emotions. The emotions are completely, the ups and downs, we're way past all of the major ups and downs. And we can speak romantically at this stage. We can be okay with grief and sadness, and nothing's going to rock our boat like it did earlier in the suit. And here is this rasty, amazing King of Cups from the Textured Tarot. I love, love, love him. He just feels so connected to the suit. So yeah, so 3 of my favorite all-time King of Cups. Yeah, pretty amazing. I guess I have to mention the shadow side of the King of Cups because I have not been looking at much of that. So in Robin's deck, she really does tap into the shadow side of the King of Cups. This is a Thoth-based deck, so the kings, the more mature male court is called the Knight. So this is the king. What's just coming up for me now? I don't know if you've seen the Housewives Tarot, but this is very much like the Housewives Tarot, right? So if there is a king that's prone to over drinking, it is definitely the King of Cups. So we need to, not always look to the positive side. There is a shadow, and there is an embodied side of each of these court cards, as I said before. Let's go to the King of Pentacles. I've got some really lovely ones here for you. So here's Osho Zen. Here is Tarot of the Hidden Realm. So here's your family man. This is the guy that's got the tea towel over his shoulders, and I said tea towel, dish towel over his shoulders. He's washing the dishes. He's helping with the supper. He's playing with his grandchildren. And yes, he is the businessman. And in Laura Naletta's deck, he's got this beautiful suit on, but he's also got, this connection to the bear, which is the element of the Pentacles, I believe, in her deck. And I think that's done really well. Oh, we have to look at this one too. So here, let's put this one here. So this is Textured Tarot. Yeah, the Pentacle quartz in this deck are done really well. So we've got all of these elements representing the earth, and he's in, he looks more like a Humphrey Bogart to me, and I like that, right? For me, the King of Pentacles is more, if he's a businessman, he looks more like this than this, but in the nature of business and the mastery of that element, businessmen take all shapes, sizes, and demographics. And so yeah, so here we have a really nice variety of the King of Pentacles. Yeah. So the kings represent fire. So we really need to look at the fiery kings and see what happens when we get fire. So that means our last card is King of Fire. And I'll pull a few for you so you can see, because we've got quite a variety of King of Fire. There's not too many that I really, really like. I'm going to get the one from the King of Fire from Druidcraft. I haven't shown you any of these. These are all done really well. Remember I was talking about how the Queen of Wands sits on her throne with her legs apart, right? So same with the King of Wands. So there is with the King of Wands also, much like the Knight of Wands, that sense of sexuality and fertility and that kind of thing. Here he is depicted as the rock star. And remember that also fire is creativity, and also that kind of inner stamina. And in the Osho Zen, this is complete mastery of fire. So fire representing the solar plexus. And to have that much fiery energy and to be in control of that, you know, this is what we need to look like, right? It needs to... it can't overtake, it can't overcome, it can't overtake us. And sure, that's fine, you know, every now and then to be a little on the wild side, and we all need to embrace that opportunity and that energy when it moves through us. But this is, I believe, the full embodiment of the fire. Yeah. So those are just a few of my thoughts. Oh, we didn't do King of Swords. Let's do one more, and then I will say adios for the night. Because King of Swords is my ex-husband, and I know him very, very well. As I was saying, I know the King of Blades, the King of Swords really well. I was married to him for over 25 years. And the positive side, the strength of the King of Swords is his intellectual power. He is so smart. He is so well read and in a diverse number of subjects. And even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, it's going to sound like he does. He is... very, very good at pretending he knows everything. So, and he will convince you that he knows it, even if he doesn't know it. You never want to get into a debate with the King of Swords. He's always going to win. So these are three that are done really, really well. I just feel that energy through all of these cards. I didn't really talk about energy too much during this video, and I just want to touch on it. A few months ago, 6 months ago, I believe, I was watching some YouTube videos and I came across this one super clever court card video, and I'm sorry, I don't remember. I'll try to find it. The woman who was doing the video was talking about homework from a tarot course, and their assignment was to make a playlist for each of the court cards. And I think that you don't need to make a playlist. You need to find one song or one movie to associate with each of the court cards, and then you're never going to forget what the energy of the court cards is. So, you know, there's so much power in music. So to find a song that really speaks to each of the court cards is going to help you immensely in really understanding what they're all about. In the Osho Zen Tarot, this one's called Control, which, you know, you don't get the, you know, the positive aspect of this. This is about the over zealousness of. So here we have fire, right? Fire and air, and fire and air is, so this is the opposite of the Knight of Wands, right? So the opposite of the Knight of Wands. And when fire is fueled by air, or when air is fueled by fire, things can really get out of control. I think Robin did a really good job with this one here, because this is one king you do not want to be playing games with. He is so smart and so clever. He's going to use all of his resources to find a way to win. And sometimes, you know what? You just have to let him win, because that is going to make everybody a heck of a lot happier. He is a really, really bad loser. And I think, I'm just going to leave it at that. Robin's guidebook, and I'm going to do a more detailed video on the Urban Tarot, because I feel so much respect and passion for her project. I can't say enough at the thoughtfulness that was put into this deck. And I know it came out quite some time ago, but I just received the mass market version of it. And I do have the original guidebook. I just don't have the original cards. And the nice thing about the new mass market version is there's no side borders. You just have the border on the top and the bottom. So you get to see much more of Robin's great artwork. So thank you for watching. This was fun, and let me know what you thought of this video. I always look forward to reading your comments. Stay well. Namaste.